Hi everyone, welcome to MGS Coaching Football and thank you for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Coach Sullivan here, defensive coordinator, and I hope that your 2021 season was as successful as ours was. In this presentation in our 3-4, I want to go over with you one of our sim pressure coverages out of our Ground Hog look, okay, that we call Maroon double with an Iona tag, but we're executing it out of the Ground Hog, okay? So subscribers, you know what the Iona tag is versus 2x2. Non-subscribers push the button. So I'm going to give you, enough of an idea here, an explanation as to what everybody's doing, but I'm going to kind of gloss over everything except the two safeties, okay, because of the mole structure. There's the big difference, okay, and how we handle crossers by number two. All right. And then over here, I'll bring it all enough to light so you can see how we handle the double bracket here on number two on the left in this particular instance and why it's that way. And so then how does that affect the other safety given that it's in a different alignment, right? So that's what I plan on doing here with you. Okay. So Iona tags only versus 2x2. Okay, so over here now, the first key term is Ground Hog itself. So that's our 58 up, but behind it is the mole safety structure, which means the whip is at 5 yards and the free is at 15. Okay, so again, this is versus Detroit middle of the field. We can run this same Ground Hog versus 3x1, but not the Iona tag. Okay, so the big focus here is how does this mole structure impact the safeties here in the Iona tag? Okay, so Ground Hog means 58 up front with the mole safety structure. Outside linebackers and corners unaffected in their alignment as the front five is unaffected. Okay, again, that's the Ground Hog affects the safeties. Okay, so again, as I mentioned before, we give two looks, two pictures. This is the second of the two. So then the offense, the O-line, the quarterback, the running backs have to figure out if the linebacker's coming. They drop in, right? What's happening? Okay, and now we're going to add this look to it. Okay, so again, subscribers, you've seen the Iona tag out of the two high look. Now we're going to show it to you out of the one high mole look. Okay. And so the mole, we have a safety lining up at the Mike linebacker position, right? When we're giving them a 5-0 look, right? Meaning all five offensive linemen are covered. Okay? So then the number two term here is the Maroon double Iona tag, right? Only versus 2x2. Number 85 is the example. What you have to do as the coaches, you got to go through, you got to do your film study, your analytics, and determine who's the go-to guy. Who's the guy we got to double? Okay, may not be statistically their best receiver, right? It can vary, all the different variables that go into it. For the purposes of this presentation, we're saying it's number 85. Okay, and so if he's on our left, we make a lucky call. Now that's our blitz designation call. We're not blitzing. But everybody understands lucky is where it's happening. All right. And if the offense thinks they got a beat on it, great. Then now they think we're blitzing. So, okay. I've always felt they got their own stuff to worry about. They're not necessarily listening to what we're saying. Okay. And consequently, I coach our guys not to really listen too hard to what they're saying. We got to know what we're doing. Right. So the lucky call's saying, in this case, to the outside linebacker, the dime, and it's always the free. Okay, we are going to bracket number 85 here on the left. Okay, so it's the outside linebacker and the free safety are going to be bracket the designated wide receiver. In this case, number 85. It's both a high-low and an inside-outside bracket. It's both. Okay, and we'll show that to you without having to draw up a zillion different routes. All right. The inside linebackers Backer and Mike are in what we call a maybe rat. Maybe is the running back. So they combo the running back, which I'll go over that with you shortly. And then the rat is for the inside linebacker who the running back does not come to. They cut number 2 opposite the Lucky Ringo. So in this case, Lucky, they're looking to cut that number 2 if he's coming hard across the field, right under 10 yards in a mesh route. Okay? So that's the inside linebackers. That's the outside linebacker free safety bracket on the designated receiver. We then have the outside linebacker opposite the double. So if it's Lucky, in this case now it's going to be the rover. Okay, Disney tells him outside shade. So both our outside linebackers are in Disney, outside shade of the receiver, right? Their help is on the inside, right? Remember this divider leverage concept, right? Where's your help? It's inside. Excuse me, he's at 3 yards, as is the outside linebacker on the side of the double, okay? And so he will Disney number 2, which means he's got him, but he's also going to rat replace. So if he comes hard across and he's going to be picked up by the inside linebacker rat, he then becomes the rat. That's what we mean by rat replace, okay? So I'm going a little fast here. Non-subscribers have pushed that button. Subscribers, this is all in the first too high version of Iona Tag, excuse me. Okay? And then ultimately we have the whip as well. And the whip starts at 5 yards, but he's going to be the middle third defender. So what we teach him is you open up and bail opposite the Lucky Ringo. So if it's Lucky, you're going to bail, get into your crossovers, but you're going to be looking to the right as you do it, right? We've got 3 over here. By doing that, that gives 3 over there, gives us a little balance. Okay, if you get a skinny post this way, I want him looking over here because he's already playing that over here. You follow what I'm trying to say? So I'll show you all of that momentarily. So what we tell him is bail to 15, then square up and pedal. Square up and pedal. So we want you to get in those crossovers. These are athletic kids. They will cover 10 yards quick. And then they square up and they keep on pedaling, reading the quarterback. Specifically, getting eyes opposite, in this case, the Lucky, so his eyes are looking over here. Okay, he's going to be the deep help over here for this outside linebacker. Okay, so the only thing I want to cover right now is how we bracket the designated number 2 here. So if number 2 does any kind of an out route, the outside linebacker is going to take him. He's going to zone off in case it's a double move, so he's over the top. Okay? But he's not going to sit in the middle because the whip's replacing him. All right? Now here's the big thing. He goes vertical. Free safeties are screwing right over the top. He's staying with it, and there's your high-low bracket. Okay, and he'll keep inside leverage, so it's high, low, inside. He stays outside. So again, it's an inside, outside, high, low bracket. Okay, reversing the order. But here's the key now, right? They're playing a rat for this number 2. If this number 2 comes on a hard mesh, he is planting and driving on it, and he is going to cut it and take this crossing route of number 2, and he's going to maintain leverage as well. So we're going to double cover that crosser. He is the designated receiver that we double no matter what. The only time he won't get doubled is if he's running a short out route. Excuse me. So this safety's not going to be able to help with that. That's the only time. And if the offense knows that and can figure all that out, good for them. Okay? Sorry about that busy day, lots of meetings and so forth, but you know what that's all about. Okay? So let me clean this up a little bit. Let's just say, for the sake of discussion, that number 2 ran a corner route. So now we've got the free safety and the dime, right? High, low, inside, outside bracket on the designated receiver. Okay? I'm going to get to the inside linebackers in a second. Remember, he's going to open away from the Lucky Ringo call here. So it's a lucky. He's going to open away, get in the crossovers, gets his eyes on number 2, squares up at 15, continues pedaling, right? Again, reading quarterback, but the focus and the favor is number 2 over here because he's the inside deep help for this number 2. Okay? All right? So now here, running back goes this way. They punch out. He gets the running back. He punches out. Now he's specifically looking for number 2. If number 2, let's say, is running a skinny post, then the rover in this case is going to stay with him. And so here's your double coverage as well. It's not predetermined bracket, but it ends up being the bracket. Okay? And the rover knows he's got that deep inside help here. He's got the short crossing inside help here with the rat. Okay? So if that's the case, then there's nothing to cut. Then they become a spy in the quarterback. So we let the routes dictate what we do. And then obviously if he were to come hard inside, he's going to cut that and take it, and then he rat replaces, right? Replace the rat. He's the new rat. And what he'd be doing, same thing, spying the quarterback. So that is how we execute the Iona Maroon double Iona tag out of Ground Hog. So it's a neat look, right? They don't necessarily anticipate this guy at 5 linebacker depth. When you got that 5-0 look covering all 5 offense, they don't necessarily expect him to be at 15 yards and bailing. Especially when on a crosser, he's flying downhill similar to a robber, and he's bailing, right? That's a lot to look at, okay? And you know, for us here in New England, Division III, Division II college football, it's a lot for quarterbacks to handle, okay? So as I said at the beginning, to my subscribers, I thank you. Non-subscribers, I hope you push the button. And to everybody watching MJS coaching football, I really, really do appreciate it. Please, any questions, reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com because I just would love to talk football with you.